Today we are going to take a trip to a little urban oasis tucked away on the West Shore. It's about 15 minutes from downtown Victoria. Walk down the driveway of Lynnes Little Elf Garden Center and you'll find a dazzling array of beauties hidden around the back.
My name is Lynne, and I've lived on this property for 66 years. My dad bought the property in 1945.
It's a field day for plant lovers and gardeners alike. If you bring the kids, there are lots of things besides plants to capture your attention. All you have to do is look closely, and you'll notice the interesting residents in the gardens. It's almost impossible to shop here without filling the car. So to make life easier, grab a wagon to carry the load. What you put into your wagon has only been fed organic fertilizers and supplements.
We don't use any pesticides in here, and we also don't use any chemical fertilizers. We can't say that we're totally organic because the product that we bring in, of course, is coming from great big greenhouses, etc. But the minute that we have to fertilize it, we switch it over to organic fertilizer.
The cedar gardening shop has stayed the same over the years, giving the place a distinct charm.
Ultimately, a small business is kind of a fun place to go. And if you know, and in here we always make it interesting for people.
Over the years, Ben has worked in a few garden centers. He swears that you won't find a store like Lynnes Little Elf anywhere else.
That it's like coming into a garden every day, tending things much like we would in a big garden. So we're more caretakers than, garden center employees, really.
If you're a fan of rhododendrons, then this is the place for you.
Rhodos are a little bit of a specialty. We've got lots of them through here. We keep them some in big pots that we can't get anymore, just to show people, the sizes that they can get to. And they are still quite a very popular shrub for, our location here.
We were lucky enough to get a quick lesson from Tony about how to make a hanging basket, and it's easier than you think.
So what you need to start with, of course, is your basket. Make sure you got a drain thing in the bottom so that you won't have your plants rot. And I'm going to leave one of the hangers off. This is the 3-hanger one, until I'm finished planting, and then I'll put it on. And what I'm going to do is, to give the basket some height, I'm going to start with something like, this is not written in stone for anybody, but depending on what they want, you could either use a geranium or anything with height for the middle. For this, I'm going to just use a green Dracaena for the center, and I'll get the soil in here. And you've got to get nice soil that's got perlite in it. You just use a nice potting mix. It's got to have air in it. Soil has to have air to breathe for the plants. You can't have a heavy, lumpy soil. So get your soil in the pot and get it up to where you can work the plants in, and then start with your center. This is what we call the center post. And you plant that in the middle, and then you pick, there's probably 50 varieties of plants you could use, but for this I'm just going to use a mix of different colors, and you just pop them out of their little holders. And a little rule of thumb that I've learned from years of gardening is, when you're planting anything like this, they say, there's a little saying, keep the sun at your back. In other words, don't haul your plants out and let the sun hit all the roots. It'll kill them. That's a trick that I learned years ago. So keep them, get them into the soil as quickly as possible. Put them in like this, the ones that are going to trail over the edge.
With summer just around the corner, gardening is a great way to escape from the hectic realities of everyday living.